Good morning. I have been chomping at the bit to start moving things around in my garden. I've been thinking about this for at least a month, if not all summer, just, the things that need to be moved around. Distracted. It's early in the morning. I'm like, if I talk a lot right now, it's not going to make much sense. So I'm just going to get to it. I'm starting in the side yard. This is my main goal for today. I'm basically going to clear almost everything out of this area. This has just been a holding ground. So these are not things that I love or that I thought would be perfect for this spot. Here is a before of this area, and you can see that it's just kind of a tangled mess. The iris did not bloom. The morning glory were not blooming. I had some sage and basil over here that were not looking great. The orange lilies were blooming, but they were hanging over the path way too far. So yeah, I'm gonna rip most of that out. I haven't bought anything for today's project. Today's project is about finding things in the yard, using what I have. For the ground cover, I'm thinking I'll do Ajuga and Sedum. For in this raised bed, I've been wanting to get rid of these tall lilies for a long time, probably 2 years. So this is exciting. In the raised bed, I want to do black-eyed Susans and Daisies just because I have them. And I've just been trying to think of things that will be really hardy. The problem with this area is that it gets full west sun, but not for long enough in the day, to take things like I've tried catmint. It hasn't done well. Okay, so it's pretty much cleaned out. The only thing I left the sedum, which for being so covered by everything else, it doesn't look too bad, and that's why I'm going to keep it, because that can take the shade that this has to offer. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave this red flint ageratum, and then I'm definitely gonna leave this little corner of big root geranium. I originally put it there because I knew whatever was in this corner is gonna have to take shade and super dry, and I just thought that's a tough plant that can take that corner, and it's filled in nicely, so I'm gonna leave that. So now I'm gonna go grab Daisies. The thing is, I'd love for the sedum to be down there, right in front of that window. So I might move it, which will mean it won't look good, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I wonder if I should bury this post while I have the chance. So I do have a reason for removing the daisies from this particular spot, and it is that it's in the middle of the border and it's hard to deadhead them there. That's just not ideal because daisies need deadheading a lot. in this spot, you know, I'll be able to deadhead them very easily because they won't be behind anything else, and it'll be at eye level, so super easy to deadhead. I won't even have to bend over. Okay, here we are. I have completed the raised bed area. So I have the Brilliant Sedum here. I have 2 of those, which I just moved over a bit. And then I have the Black-Eyed Susan vines. I planted 2 of those. Now, I know what you're thinking, Kate, you really need to deadhead those. You really need, I mean, cut down those flowers, because transplanting things with flowers is a terrible idea. So I know, and if you weren't thinking that, you should have been. Yes, I am going to cut them down as soon as I'm done with this. I just wanted a visual for myself and for you so that we could see it. And then I have 3 daisies, which I, you know, would have left, but I had already cut those back. And then I have the big root geranium. So yes, as soon as I finish this videoing, I will cut them back, but that can just kind of help us to see what it's going to look like next year. And with the white daisies on the right, now we're hoping they bloom here. I chose them because they're low maintenance. I think that they'll bloom, that's my guess, we'll see. So another thing that's interesting is this hyacinth bean vine. So I planted it and I had this little trellis. It has decided to grow on the cable, which goes up there, which is not ideal, but I've learned a lot, because I've learned this dirt when I dug it up today was completely dry. The hyacinth bean vine does not seem to be struggling with that at all. So that's good to know. It also is full of buds. It's about to bloom all up there. So now I know that that will bloom here, even though it's not completely sunny. So what I need to do is I need to build a really big tall trellis for the west side of my house. And I know that this hyacinth bean vine will do well here. So that's lots of good new information. And this, if anyone's wondering, is the native wild ageratum. And yes, my neighbors are redoing their siding, so I get that that's a mess right now. So now I get to shift my focus to the ground cover. I didn't obviously want to start working on this until I got the raised bed done, because then I would just walk all over it. So what I want to do is Ajuga and Sedum. So now I'm going to go collect those. And just by the way, these are Husker Red Penstemon. Over the next few weeks, I need to remember that these are over here. Once they get established, I'm not worried about them. I don't ever specially water the ones on my east side. But while they're getting established, I need to remember them. I have planted some Ajuga. I may plant more. I'm gonna go take a break, but some of them are pretty small, but I did plant them on the right side too. And I stopped where I have my moss because I like my moss. So then, yeah, I don't know how much more Ajuga I'm gonna do or where I'm gonna start the sedum. And then I did trim down my black-eyed Susans. About 2 months ago, I planted some thyme here and it just totally failed right away. So not gonna do that again, going for something different. Okay, the sun is just about to make its way to this west side garden. I put all the sedum in. It could probably use some more, but I'm calling it quits for today. On the right side over here, I have an Annabelle hydrangea, catmint, and several of the Husker Red penstemon. I don't know if it's going to show up as well on camera, but the purple in the Ajuga with the purple in the Ajuga. I think that's looking nice. Thanks for watching. I'll be sure to show you guys how this area looks next year.